Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Welcome to my Citizen channel, and it's the One City Show, and this is episode 7. So we have a quick look around the media and see what's being said about City, both good and bad, so and all in between, etc, etc. Please, if you're new to this channel, please push that subscribe button, and if you do like what you see, push that notification button as well, so you get to know when these vlogs are coming out. If you check the playlist, there's lots of city stuff, past and present, quizzes, information vlogs like this, etc, etc. And if you do, you will notice some stuff on film and TV as well. I have a little film and TV channel if that's of any interest. If it's not, don't worry about it, it's loads of football stuff. But if you're interested in the film and TV, please check that out. I do film reviews, TV drama reviews, information vlogs, stuff that's out on DVD, coming soon, hopefully what's on at the cinema. Hopefully we get back to the cinema at some stage. So if you know anyone who might be interested, please point them in my direction. Oh, that'd be fantastic, and get them to push that subscribe button. And if you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, there's a couple of links on screen now. I do check every 3 or 4 days, and I follow and friend everyone back on there. I do post lots of stuff on there as well. Right, comments, please give us your comments or any ideas, anything you're interested in about and missed. I mean, some of this stuff you would have seen. I just have a look at what's out there. Some of the stuff you might have missed, so at least I can point you in the direction. Hopefully, something that you might find entertaining or to read up on later on. I might just point you out to an article that's been written or something like that. But if there's anything you want to see in this sort of magazine vlog, please let us know, and I might consider that for the future. I said, or any comments you can make on City or anything going on, that'd be great. And if you haven't got time for a comment, you can leave us a little thumbs up. That's fantastic. Right, yeah, we usually start with a few images, just not too much this week on images wise, but one by Spider-Manc at Spider-Manc9320. I mean, it's up on screen there. That is a fantastic image. I mean, there's certain people who wonder what that is, but there's certain people would remember that image, and I always wish there's certain things. I always remember going to Main Road as a kid, and obviously Platt Fields was quite nearby. I used to live in Withington, obviously, and you could sort of stand on that Platt Field. There's a little hill at Platt Fields at the back of it, and you could stand on the hill and look towards Main Road and see Main Road in the distance, and it was a fantastic view. And I just wonder, I'm annoyed I never ever got an image of it, because it was there sort of embedded in the same way. Walking over the hill on New Tree Road, there's a hill over railway, and as you get to the crest of the hill, obviously it's a great view of Main Road in the distance with the floodlights, etc. So I mean, things like that, and that image there on screen, similar sort of thing. I mean, if you stood at the top of the Kippack Street stand, obviously when it was the old standing thing, that would be very familiar with the school, obviously in the foreground, and looking in the distance, I think I can see St Mary's there. I can't quite make it out. Obviously, it's a bit easier to see now. It's all been done up, hasn't it? The hospital round there, so it's slightly different. But yeah, that is a fantastic image. So I thought I had to share that with you. If you've not seen that, I might use it to one of my backdrops in a forthcoming sort of thumbnail, stuff like that. But yeah, that brings back some great memories. Let me know what you think. Do you remember that, standing at the top of that stand, looking out that way like that? It's looks quiet. It was very quiet. Certainly doesn't look as it was it was not a match day, was it? Obviously, where they've got the cars and stuff. So there you go. Yeah, on to sort of the papers. Yeah, as we sort of dominate, don't we? We are dominating at the moment. Obviously, I'm doing this before the United game. Hopefully, we'll continue to dominate this league this year. But yeah, Tony Evans of the Independent, literally on the morning I was doing this, I mean, we're getting, the heading sort of took my eye, obviously. Manchester City state-sanctioned greatness has them in a league of their own before the derby. I mean, state-sanctioned greatness. There you go. I mean, that's sort of going to sum it up, isn't it? And I read the article. It's all the same usual bile. You get certain things. Liverpool's title success last year was the aberration. COVID-19 has merely magnified and hastened the Etihad's tightening grip on the English game. I mean, this is not just this Tony Evans guy, is it? The other people are coming up with this now that we had a couple of years ago where, obviously before Liverpool had the temerity to come and actually prove that, no, we weren't invincible. And he went on to say the core reason Guardiola's men are so far ahead is money. Yeah, as though we have different rules, apparently. We have different rules to every other football team in England. We're obviously governed by different rules and etc, etc. City apologists like to believe it is vulgar to talk about cash and the realities of being owned by an emirate. I mean, you know, this is the ownership model that will tear the sport apart. Yeah, that's it. So owners who rip their clubs apart and use them as cash cows is okay, and recast it in a form that will be destructive to all but the insanely rich. Yeah, it's just a bit of bad. I'm not sure who supports this, Tony Evans. Whatever your stance is, this is the best one. This is the funniest one. Whatever your stance in the sport washing positive projection of the Abu Dhabi debate, it is clear that the Emirate did not buy City to win over a few thousand people in Manchester. A few thousand people. There you go. Small club, Mr. Tony Evans. You're absolutely thick as pig muck. Who supported a quirky, underachieving football team. City, a few thousand people in Manchester who supported a quirky, underachieving football team. There you are, we're one of a few thousand. So yeah, I mean, we are a small club, but a few thousand, I think you're understating it just a little bit, mate. But there you go. City are more than a club. The team's greatness needs context. It is state-sanctioned and unprecedented. So that was his sort of concluding line, sort of thing. But there's loads of other stuff in there. Just absolute Tony Evans, you're an absolute prat. Yeah, interesting one. Again, if you look at the Daily Mirror, there's going to be a couple of Daily Mirror linked things today, which is very unusual. They're not usually very kind to us. They'd probably jump on the independent bandwagon, wouldn't they? But yeah, a couple of interesting ones. This is from Simon Mullock, not always the greatest. Man City don't need Champions League to prove greatness. Pep Guardiola has set new standards. There you go. I mean, the article is sort of, yeah, implying that. It's quite a positive at times article. Pep Guardiola's record-breaking Manchester City cannot be judged only on Champions League glory alone. Well, we will be, won't we? It doesn't matter if Simon Mullock that says not or not. But yeah, it was an okay article. It's just an article in line with the fact that we are dominating the league. So check that one out. On the lighter side, yeah, the Yorkshire Evening Post, I did notice something in the song, appeared on BT Sports crowd noise sound effects. Obviously the City's match against, I think it was the West Ham game, and Marching On Together was blurting out on BT Sports. Obviously had a few Leeds fans at the Etihad that night. So was a lot of Leeds fans, obviously some sarcastic comments, some okay comments, some just funny comments. But yeah, the eagle listen, it's not eagle-eyed for listening, is it? The what would you say? Someone who'd got good hearing, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so we had I missed it, I didn't see it. But then again, my stream probably froze at that time or something, I don't know. But yeah, so Marching On Together was featured. Did you notice that? I didn't certainly notice that. Again, on the negatives, and I won't go on too much about it, but Sports Illustrated had this, and obviously it's been in a few little papers, etc. And obviously he's been at it again, hasn't he? The La Liga chief, the Liga president Javier Tebas has rekindled the feud between himself and the two clubs he cites as state-owned. So here we go again, Manchester City and League One giants PSG. In quotes provided by the Daily Mail on the subject of financial fair play, I thought we'd seen the last of that. Tebas has had his say. If my level of confidence in FFP is based on what has happened in recent years, then it's low. But if it's based on the hopes of Alexander Seferin enforcing economic control and ensuring that rules are fulfilled, then it's different. He went on to say the FFP rules are not the best, but I would be satisfied with them just being met and there not being clubs evading them on all sides. That there isn't a Manchester City or a PSG. Tebas claims that unlike other clubs, they are able to keep buying the best players because they're financed by the oil industry and there's special, not strictly legal funding methods. However, unfortunately for La Liga president, this is Daily Mail goes on, he may need to focus his efforts on sticking it to the man closer to home, of course. Not only has Barcelona's former club president and a handful of executives been arrested for corruption this week, but La Liga poster boy Real Madrid was only launched to their extremely high pedestal on the back of a relatively controversial regime, to say the least. So again, I mean, if that Tony Evans is an idiot, I have no words for that guy, to be honest with you. Absolutely shocking. Interesting one in 442 on early March. They said the City's Etihad Stadium is amongst 12 UK stadiums that could replace the 12 host cities planned for the Euro 2020s if the UK becomes sole host. Yeah, the Etihad's recent upgrade in 2015 allowed it to surpass Old Trafford as the best stadium in Manchester. Well, we know that anyway, don't we? Despite hosting 20,000 fewer fans, United's ground untouched in 15 years, their rival stadium is more suited for the demands of an international tournament. It's a swamp, isn't it? It's just a toilet, basically. So, and that's no surprise there. But quite interesting about the staging it in this country, wouldn't it? On the MCFC.co.uk City site, yeah, the 2021 FAU Cup, that's set to resume again later this month. It was suspended by the FA in January in the wake of national lockdown. It's not later this month, it's early this month. However, it's now been confirmed that the competition is resumed with Holders City to play host to Birmingham City in the third round on Friday the 12th of March. So that's quite soon. And a couple of things from the match day programme. Obviously, versus Wolves, just a couple of things in there. They had a supporter survey, apparently, about the digital programme, and the people have been on the internet asking, were you asked? Who did the survey? Apparently, it's got 91% approval rate in the digital programme. I think it's all right for what it is. It's rubbish, it's free, so it's throwaway stuff, and it's okay for what it is, but it's not what we want as supporters. It's not what we want as a link to our club, is it? Let's be honest about it. Most clubs, apart from Burnley, as far as you can see in the Premiership so far, have produced a normal programme. City don't seem to bother with that. It's gone the way of the magazine, really. So yeah, but that 91%. Were you asked? Let me know. Did you take part in this survey? I have no idea where the survey come from. Most people are sort of a bit puzzled by it, but not bad, is it? 91%. Well done, City. Pat yourselves on the back. Yeah, Mark Riley's question answer. So this is the Wolves one. Don't forget, not the United one. If you're watching this, obviously this is the Wolves programme. Had a Q&A, doesn't he? He had a Q&A with legend Gary Owen. And obviously he was at City 75 to 79. It felt a bit longer to me. I thought it was there a lot longer than that. And he asked Gary Owen if you could go back in time and take yourself out of a team for one match, what match would that be and why? That's an interesting one, isn't it? And Gary Owen picked on the 27th of January 1979, a fourth round tie, of course, at Shrewsbury Town. Were you there? 2-0. Obviously a typical giant killing game. And he said that was a match you never really wanted to be associated with, so he wished he could have been taken out of that. And from the match day programme against United on the 7th of March, a couple of more interesting things. Kevin Cummins does his usual little spot, doesn't he? Share some thoughts and images from the Colin Bell testimonial on the 11th of September 1979. On the occasion of Colin Bell's testimonial, the main game was a combined City United side versus a combined Merseyside team. So that's quite interesting. We'll see that. That's in the United programme on the 17th of March. Clive Wilson, remember Clive Wilson? Fantastic young player. Shared his dream team. So his starting 11, I won't go on to the subs, but Corrigan, that's fair enough. Tony Buck, Company, Doyle and Pardo. It's not a bad back line, is it? KDB, Yaya and Colin Bell. That's fantastic. Somerby, Aguero and Neil Young. So that was an interesting dream team. Let me know what your dream team is. Mark Riley's question and answer question in this programme was with Jeff Hordley. You want to know who Jeff Hordley is? Of course, he's the guy from Emmerdale, isn't he? I'm not sure he's starred in anything else, to be honest with you. I've only ever seen him in Emmerdale, but not that I watch that anymore. But yeah, so that's his Q&A. So it's always, I like him. Yeah, of course he's an ordinary fan. I'm just going to say it's nice when they don't do celebrities, but he is a celebrity. He's an actor, isn't he? But it's good when they ask questions of guys who perhaps don't have a football link themselves. So check that out anyway. And of course on City Plus, you've got coming soon. You've got this will be exciting. My lad will love this. He's one of his heroes. Coming soon, Feed the Goat explores his prolific 2001, 2002 and 2002, 2003 seasons with stuff from the man himself, plus interviews with people connected obviously with Sean Goater. So that's coming soon to City Plus, so you have to be a subscriber if you want to watch that one. Upcoming City games, we've got the women are in action on the 7th of March, the same day as the derby. Depending when you're watching this, you might have missed it. But on the 7th of March, they're home to Everton at 2 p.m. kickoff. On the 11th of March, they're away at Fiorentina, of course, in the second leg of the Women's Champions League game. And that's on City Plus at 1 p.m. So if you got City Plus again, that's live, and let's hope they get the connection correct. Some stores sorted out for that one. That's 1 p.m. on the 11th of March. The EDS are in action next on the 8th of March, home to West Ham. That's also on City Plus, so if you're interested in that, that's 1 p.m. kickoff, 8th of March, the EDS, it's home to West Ham. And the Academy, Tuesday the 9th of March, are at home to Stoke City. I don't think that's on anything though, but obviously at home to Stoke City at 2 p.m. So that'll be interesting as that turns out. Yeah, out and about on social media. Getting back to the Mirror, obviously John Cross, again, another one who's not always complimentary. But he did cause a lot of trouble out there, not necessarily with City fans. He got a lot of likes on this, but a lot of other fans, obviously, again, slagging us off and all the money we've got, etc., etc. All the usual City bingo stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, John Cross at John Cross Mirror said, Man City's winning run is one of the truly great achievements in English football history. It will be, I'm sure he has. I'm not sure there was a wink at the end of this thing, but I didn't scroll through to find out if John Cross answered it again, but there's too much. I just got bored with watching the vitriol against City, reading the vitriol against City, to be honest with you. But yeah, anyway, I digress. He said, Man City's winning run is one of these truly great achievements in English football history. Will be remembered forever. Incredible feat by an incredible team, manager and players. Astonishing. So there you go. Yeah, so at John Cross Mirror. So have a look at that. And if you like to get up, angry at comments and say I've rise above it these days, but there's some cracking comments from opposing fans, obviously, to Mr. John Cross's comment there. But as I say, I think he was after. It is clickbait in its own way. Praising City is clickbait in the same way as ignoring City and praising other teams, isn't it? So I think that's what Mr. Cross is after there, to be honest with you. Pete at Man City Oracle, yeah, he did just February 28th. Yeah, this was an interesting shirt. I'm not sure whether this is available or someone's done a mock-up of it anyway, but just to prove they don't really care about Manchester City, obviously United and Liverpool, it's great to see them joining together in their hate, isn't it? I mean, real Liverpool United fans would despair about it, to be honest with you. But just to prove they don't really care about us, fans have a sheet and have a T-shirt for it, don't they? Just to prove how much they don't care about us. That's quite interesting. And Simon Hand, yeah, there's another one. There was entertainingly, we're not the entertainers, City. We're quite boring, aren't we? We're that good, we're boring. But yeah, Sky Sports News come up with you probably saw this, I mean, this is a few days ago, managed to invent a league without Manchester City in the top six and call it the Entertaining League. I think the qualifications is how many goals in a game, I think. So obviously, if you let loads in and score a few, you're entertaining. So there you go. That's an interesting, but obviously we don't feature in the top six of that, so there you go. But it was an interesting lead at Simon_Hand found there on Sky Sports News and put that out there. And I don't obviously feature images from United games unless they're playing us, of course. But yeah, there was 2 or 3 coming out. You've probably seen 1 or 2 yourself, but some good ones from the Crystal Palace United game. I think it was a bit misty, wasn't it? But yeah, that's a great image on screen from that one, particularly from the Urban Spaceman at Conal_Fits. So I just thought there's 2 or 3 of them. I just picked one out, but I thought that was quite funny. Obviously, it has to be one of the worst kits ever, doesn't it? That's zebra kit. I've seen 1 or 2 people in replica shirts walking around, but certainly not many. I've not seen, I've seen the normal United shirts, but very few and far between walking around in them zebra things. But they could be, I suppose they could be attacked or something by animals, couldn't they, if you walked around with that. And finally, just before we go today, Tom at Tom_Skade. Yeah, I mean, he had an image of Tony's. Yeah, Tony's Chippies. Obviously, we've not been there for a while. It's been over a year now since I've been around the Etihad Stadium. Yeah, so Tony's changed its name there, as you can see. He threw on a couple of images, obviously, of the Blue Moon Cafe at Main Road and the other City Chippy as well, near the Etihad. So it brought some... it did make me not particularly want to go and eat there at those, obviously, 5-star eateries, but hopefully we will be back there before long. But obviously life goes on, doesn't it? I must admit, I was quite obviously Mary D's will probably still be there. There's still people live there, and still people go out. Well, they don't go to the pub, do they? I don't know what I'm talking about there, but yeah, with like fish and chip takeaways and stuff like that, obviously they do open, don't they? So I'm just a bit surprised it's still there. I thought it would have gone under, obviously under the current circumstances. But life does go on in some way, doesn't it? And I'm sure when we do get back to the Etihad, most of the old haunts, fingers crossed, will be there. That'd be nice to see, won't it? But it did make me feel a little bit sad. Certainly looking at the Blue Moon Chippy there from Main Road as well. That made me look a little even sadder, to be honest with you, looking at that. But hey, there you go. So. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Just a little bit. Nothing fantastic this week. Nothing, say, a bit of a downer with the guys having a go at us. But it comes with, I'd rather that and the fact we're doing well at the top of the league than they're just ignoring us and so that's good, isn't it? I think if we all know if City are doing well, that's when all these journals and people will be having a pop at us. So I think we're quite happy with that, aren't we? So anyway, let me know your comments and anything you might. You've spotted that you've seen that I've not mentioned that if you think other City fans would like to see, and I'll pop it on here in the next episode of the One City Show. Please check out my recent Citizen new feature. Yeah, the City Book Club. Obviously, I featured My Manchester City by Mike Doyle, where we just take a chapter and look at some excerpts from it. So that's proved quite popular. So please check that out. It's a new feature. I'll be doing a few more books from different ex-players, managers, journalists, even different things over the coming months and however long. And as long as you enjoy that, so a lot of people are enjoying that. So please seek that out and have a look at my the City Book Club episode 1 as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. What are you going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other till we meet here again on the Citizen channel. Perhaps you have a flick across to my film and TV channel. All I ever ask is please stay safe, everyone. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.